Okay, now the potatoes, I'm just gonna reduce the heat. The potatoes are not completely cooked, but they're easy to break. Let me show you. They're easy to break, like this. A little bit hard, but not edible yet, and not completely cooked, but almost there. So that's when you can start adding the spices. As usual, I start with the onions. I have a lot also here. First of all, my man loves a lot of onions, so he wouldn't mind the extra onion pinch. So I start with the onions. You have to remember that meanwhile the meat for the beef samosas is cooling down. Yeah, I've covered it so that I let the onions cook for a minute or so before I start adding the other ingredients. But I cannot handle the potatoes the way I was handling the meat, because they will be mashed, and we don't want mashed potatoes. We want something we can bite a little bit into. So I've just covered a little bit, but then I have to turn them, but to turn them a bit more careful than the way I was turning the meat. And because I can't let the potatoes cook too much until they become mashed, I'm gonna add the other ingredients. You remember we have the spring onion, we have the coriander, and we have the paprika, the three types of paprika: red, green, and yellow. Then I have to go a bit slower with it. Reduce the heat, cook it faster. As you can see, the colors are beautiful. I can't waste so much time with these potatoes because they will get mashed, like I said. I don't want mashed potatoes. So what I do at this point, I just start adding my other spices. Then I use the same as I used for the meat. Here it's I just add one teaspoon of turmeric, and then my other spices I just add enough to taste. A little paprika, I'm using this so that I don't mash them. The other big wooden one was a bit too harsh on the potatoes, but you can see the beautiful color of the potatoes. I'm still contemplating whether to use this piece or not, but I think I'm not gonna use them now. But you could use them, there is no problem. I have so much on this pan, I don't want to ruin, because if it's too much they will not cook so well. So I'm gonna not use them for now, but I can use them for some dinner later. I have to be very careful with the potatoes. I have to taste. Yes, I think I need a little bit of more taste. Remember, no salt. This has enough salt. If I didn't have this, I could have used this, but I'm not using it now. And one other thing that I keep on almost forgetting is the garlic. Make sure everything is blended well, and also this will cool down before we start packing it into the pastry wraps. So hopefully everything is mixed on so well. As in the vegetarian, I'm doing these potatoes because my mom loves these potatoes so much. Some people use the ndengu, which is green beans, green grams. I personally don't like them. I think this is a better version of vegetarian samosas. I haven't put any chili in it because I will make a chili dip on the side, because different people eat different amount of chilies. I don't like to decide for them. So this is amazing. All the flavors are blended well. Let it cook for a minute to soften some of the big pieces of potatoes, and then I'll let it cool down before I start packing it into the samosa shapes. Okay, this part I have to do it sitting down because this is how I work. So I have my egg here beaten. I just beat two to begin with because later I will probably need more eggs. And then I have this pastry. This one I buy it in these Asian shops. They have made it very easy for us to make samosas or spring rolls. So I don't think I need to bother with the old-fashioned ones. Although I think the other ones taste better. But this is how I work the pastry. Remember, you have to let it defrost a little bit, not so much because it will be difficult to separate them. So this is how the pastry looks like, and they are very, very thin. I have to start separating them, and you have to be very careful. So that's why I have this plate here, because I normally separate them like this. very carefully so that I don't tear them. And this is how they look. So I separate like about 5, and then I show you how I fold the samosas and make them triangle. Is it triangle? Yes, triangle. So these ones are made from wheat flour. That's why I have to have different for other people who have allergies. So careful. Normally I do this like a few days before I start making the samosas because I think it's a lot of work. You cannot do this at the same time, but I wanted to show you today. So you have to bear with me. So I do about 5, and then if you do it too fast, you will tear them, and if you let them defrost completely, they will be very difficult to handle. So this is how they look, very, very thin. And then I will have to freeze the rest so that they don't get spoiled, but I'll do this fast. Let's see, here is the meat. It hasn't cooled down completely, but so I take a normal plate. I take one of the pastries and I put it like this, like a diamond. The sharp area is facing me. The first step I do, I fold it in two so that there is already a triangle on the plate. Perfect triangle. Then you put one finger in the middle, and then you turn it overlapping. You see it goes a little bit over. And then now I take the glue, the egg, but I use my fingers. I've washed my fingers, they're clean, so not to worry. But if you're worried, you can use a kitchen brush, but that takes a long time, I feel so it's better to wash your hands. I don't like using gloves a lot because if I'm touching different things, I don't know. But anyway, I've washed my hands. So I take like a little egg. Some people think it's nasty, but what don't you do to eat? So when I've put the egg on that side which was overlapped like this, I take the other side and then I align it straight to this part. So already you see you have like almost a triangle. You see this side is perfect. And then I have a pocket here. There is a pocket here. That's where the meat is going. Trying to make sure it's totally cool, because if it's too hot, it's gonna start ruining the pastry. But yeah, you take a little meat, depending on how big you want your samosas, but this one is a reasonable size. So when I've put the meat inside, I take these 2 hanging ears here and hide them inside here. As you can see, I have like a straight line here. So when I've done that, I wish I could put the camera from on the top or behind, I think, so that I can show you for the next one. So when I've done that, I take more egg or wheat flour, the mixture if you have. So this is just egg. I cover that lid, and then I just cover it like that. And you can see you have a perfect samosa, clean and perfect, no mess, nice triangle, which, you know, when guests eat, Sometimes you can have food that tastes good, but if it doesn't look good, it isn't appealing. I like to make sure that they look perfect. It's not because I'm a perfectionist, but seriously, my reputation is at stake here. If I make like bad samosas, what are you gonna think? So I'm sure these samosas will taste good and they look good. I'm gonna try to do another one very fast, and then I don't know if I can get the camera. I don't know how to put the camera so that you can see. I only have one. I use my phone, so I'm not so well with equipment. But hopefully in the future I could have a camera from the top, then you could see. Or if I could have an assistant to hold the camera for me, I would. But as you can see, I fold it in a rectangle like that, and then again I put my finger here, overlap it. It passes a little bit, yeah, so it passes a little bit to look like that. Okay, then I take some egg, apply on that area, and then I take this part which was here and I put it straight, make a straight line there to look like that. So you have two things hanging there, no problem, we will deal with that. And then I have a pocket here. There is a pocket here. That's the pocket where you put the meat. I think that's enough, or maybe a little. Like that. And then these two hanging things, you hide them inside, just carefully. Normally I go very fast because I'm making like 100 samosas now. I'll be making a lot now when I'm done here. Like that. And then I do that again, a perfect triangle. So I'm gonna make this 5, and then I fry them so that you can see the end result. And then I deal with the rest of the samosas off camera, then I go faster like that. You see, I'm trying to be as slow as possible so that you can see. Again, perfect triangle. Every year I make like about 1,000 samosas for a specific event, but this year because of the coronavirus I couldn't. But hopefully next year I'll be able to do that again. So the 5th one. This part you have to do it sitting down. I don't think I can do a lot of samosas like this standing up. I have to sit down comfortably, watch a movie. I normally put music or watch a movie while I do this. And in no time I'm done. So yeah, so you can see I have 5 very nice samosas. I'm gonna fry them and then I continue with the rest later. Okay, I've warmed the oil. The oil is hot now. I'm gonna fry them. Meanwhile I've made some gluten-free. I have used the wrap. This is sweet potato wrap that I just buy on the local store. I think the oil is too hot. I'm gonna cool it down a little bit. Let me let it cool it down. You can see some smoke. If it's too hot, it's gonna fry too fast, and you don't want it too fast, you don't want it too slow. You can basically put them in. I'm starting with the beef samosas first. Just a few minutes on both sides until it's golden brown. These ones look like they are cooked, but they're not. It's because the flour for the gluten-free is a bit, it has already been prepared for before. So I take it like this, the round one. I'm just doing this first while the samosas cook. Then I take a kitchen scissors and cut them in half. Then again I fold them like this, and then I make a triangle like this. So they're like the other ones, we fold them into triangles. These ones we just cut them into triangles, and then we will fold them into samosas later. So that's how I do it. These ones are thin, but they are very also a bit tricky to handle. They break, so you have to be very careful. You can see they break easily. So it's being very careful, but I think I've gotten a few of them. So my nephew is gonna like them. Hopefully he's gonna like them. I've not made with this sweet potato wraps before. Okay, basically these samosas are ready. Yeah, this is how the beef samosas look like now. Very hot, very nice. I'm gonna fry these other ones and see. I'll do the same process for the vegetarian one, so I don't need to show the entire process now. But the vegetarian ones, I will use the same pastry I've used for the meat, because so far I don't know if there's anybody allergic to those pastries except the one who eats these ones. So people, the samosas are ready. I'm gonna take the first bite before I call the boys to taste, because they're normally my tasters. Don't you wish you were me right now? Because I wish I were me. This is so good, so crispy. I'm just gonna put lime and some chili later. I don't know what to tell you. This is amazingly good. Let me spare that one for the lime, but let me check on these gluten-free ones. This one they cook very fast because the flour was already cooked. The flour was already cooked before, so I've been busy eating here. I almost burned them, but I saved them on time. I'm gonna taste and make sure the person who's gonna eat them gonna love them. And also I will try to make some with the rice flour, which requires a lot of work because I have to put them in hot water and I have to really focus on this one. That's why I haven't done them now. But all I can say for now is thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your support, and I hope you try. You can write to me and get some tips, but that's all I have for you today. So ciao, thank you.